Hey guys, Chris again from ClassicVWBugs.com, and in this video I want to talk to you about the famous 1967 Beetle. Now I'm collaborating with my dear good friend and BuGs, Eric Shoemaker from 1967Beetle.com. Eric is in San Francisco and I'm over here in New York, so we talk from time to time about VW restoration, and he's got an awesome site on strictly the 1967 Beetle. But what we're going to talk about here is just the obvious changes and the upgrades that made this car so special. To many purists and collectors out there, the 67 Beetle is the Mason-Dixon line, like the end of the good era. You know, it still had the classic look, but yet had a 12-volt system and an upgraded motor. Now also keep in mind that we're going to be going over, this is US spec 1967 Beetle, which had most of the changes. The European spec model did have some changes as well, and even some oddball stuff that I even just read up on. But for the most part, we're going to go over the US spec 67 Beetle, the most obvious changes. There's a lot of different and technical changes that also happened throughout the year, and a lot of one-year only features, but you can go to Eric's site in the one-year only section on his website to really see exactly what did change and what is one-year only. But I'm going to get behind the camera and I'm going to start going around this car and really pointing out the most obvious of changes and the one-year only features that make this car so unique. All right, stay tuned. Okay, so the most obvious of changes right off the bat that you can tell from a 1967 Beetle, for the US spec of course, is the straight open seal beam headlight with the old style grills still on the fenders, and you still have the old style bumper. Right off the bat, when you look at the front of a Bug from 67, that is, you know, the first thing that comes to my eye that distinguishes the difference. And then as you work your way around the car, you'll notice the moldings got thinner in this year. This was the first year where the moldings actually got thinner, you know, and then from here on out, that's the way they stayed. Now, also remember, if you're a real purist, the headlight ring should say SB12 on them. That's the absolute correct ring to go on that seal beam headlight. Now also remember, since they got rid of the old style Porsche headlight, the parking light is not down into the bulb here. The parking light is now up into the blinker. Also keep in mind the front hood, since it did have still the old style, you know, lower dipped hood that dips lower here. It's the only hood that is the old style but with the thin molding on it. You know, this is the only year that actually had that. I mean, any other hood like this would have had the thick, wide molding. Okay, so as we work our way around the car, you'll see there are some transitions from 66 that came into 67 as well. As you see, the flat hubcaps that came in 66. Late style 66, you know, came into 67 with this style of a door handle. I do highly recommend, when you're restoring your car, if you can save these door handles, I would go ahead and do that. Aftermarket door handles, they just are not fitting right lately. The quality of them is not as nice as the old German style. So if you can salvage these, polish them up anyway, or send them out to be chromed, I do highly recommend doing that. There's a couple things I did on this car that, you know, I still kept a little bit vintage. This would have actually had, I put the thick molding on here on the running boards. Originally would have had a thinner molding, like my friend Larry's car over here. Here's a 67. Here's the thinner molding you would have had.